How do I stop whiffing? Aim train. How do I get better mechanics? Aim train. Why am I so inconsistent? You don't aim train enough. We've all heard it 1,000 times, and like I'm sure many of you can relate, it never really clicked. Trying out tens of Aimlabs playlists, buying Kovacs, doing benchmarks, and at the end of it, we still find ourselves whiffing just as often. I'm Prime, a Valorant coach who's helped hundreds of students rank up, and in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to debunk Valorant's biggest myth. To understand where I'm coming from, let me first give you two examples. Exhibit A, a Valorant player who's never aim trained much in his career, yet still found success climbing in the ranks even on roles that are traditionally thought to be mechanically intensive, like duelists. That player is me. I've hardly tracked just over 100 hours on aim trainers throughout my 6 years playing FPS games, yet still managed a decent rank in every game I played. Exhibit B, an aim demon who spent thousands of hours grinding every playlist you can name on Aimlabs and Kovacs. That player is Sophia from my community, and despite her countless hours perfecting her raw aim, she lacks the ability to say that she's world class in any FPS game. So how could this be? How could I and many others with so few hours practicing raw aim be able to outshine someone who's put so much effort into it? The answer is simple. Despite the importance that's given to it, raw aim isn't everything, nor close to it. But that doesn't mean raw aim or aim trainers are just entirely obsolete, but I'll come to that in a second. In my opinion, there's three things that matter for gunfights infinitely more than raw aim and how you can improve them. Firstly, your movement, your peeking technique, how you scale through the map, your ability to swing with full momentum, being evasive during gunfights, strafing while giving your gun time to reset, making sure you are stationary when shooting, dead zoning, counter strafing, jiggle peeking to bait shots and lure the enemy's crosshair, that all falls under movement. Secondly, your crosshair placement on pre-aims, clears, scaling, and routing through the map, etc., as well as the pathing of your crosshair as you scale, the efficiency with which you movement, and the accuracy of where you hold it. All of this is what falls under crosshair placement. Thirdly, gunfight hygiene. Tapping when you need to, bursting when you need to, spraying when you need to. Not mixing up the three and using each of them when they're suitable. Not remaining hyper-stationary, but rather being fluid in your movements and making yourself evasive and difficult to hit. Making sure you have no movement inaccuracy at the time you shoot, and creating few opportunities for your enemy to shoot you while not overlooking your own shots you need to fire at your enemy. That is gunfight hygiene. And how do you improve these three crucial elements? The answer for each of the three is surprisingly the same. Play deathmatch. Play DMs keeping at least one of these three elements in mind. It's super important to not just mindlessly play deathmatches, or worse, play deathmatches to win. DMs are an incredible tool to work on all issues mechanics related, and you should use it as such. If I think I have an issue with my crosshair placement, I should focus on having good enough crosshair placement to rarely have to make an adjustment. If I think I have bad peeking technique, I should watch a pro player and how they move, and then mirror their movements in a deathmatch. And if I think I have bad gunfight hygiene, I should look at a pro I like and mold myself into their shooting style by practicing in a deathmatch until it's supernatural to me. Now I say all that, but we've obviously seen countless pros and coaches, myself included, recommend aim training. So how can this random kid come in and start talking about some aim training is a myth? Well, the answer is simple, but to see where it all began, we have to take a time machine back to 2021. Valorant's been around for a little while now. It's got some pretty good traction, and a couple of big orgs started pouring money into the scene, and so did investors. And of course, one of them was Aimlabs. Aimlabs started sponsoring hella Valorant creators and teams, namely Tents, which gave them a massive outreach into the community. Aim training became a very common concept in the eyes of the average Valorant player, but this concept was skewed. You see, aim training was not advertised as an assisting tool to help you improve a fraction of how your overall gunfights looked. Not at all, actually. It was brought forward as if it was the one single tool you needed to improve your gunfights. Resultantly, people started thinking that aim training would solve all of their mechanical problems. Someone whiffing? Tell them to aim train. This has become so common nowadays, but in reality, it isn't the entire truth. You can whiff for a variety of reasons, as I've mentioned earlier. If you're whiffing, it could be because of your movement, your gunfight hygiene, your crosshair placement, or even something else. But yes, it could also be because of your raw aim. So before you take this video as an excuse to stop aim training, let it be known that aim training is actually very useful if you have a raw aim problem. And even if you don't, you will never lose anything by aim training, but you will always gain something from it, even if marginal at times. So like I've always said, and will continue to say, if you are trying to improve at VALORANT, and especially if you are trying to go pro, stay aim training is good for you. Now, before we end the video, if you could spare 2 more minutes, there's one super important idea I'd really like for you to hear. A really good way to look at aim training is by comparing it to going to the gym or just working out in general. There's actually so many similarities between the two. First of all, when you go to the gym, the actual workout routine or regimen isn't that important. What every trainer will tell you is that you actually showing up and working out is infinitely more important than you having a perfect split which you don't stick to or don't enjoy. Same thing applies to aim training. The actual playlist or routine doesn't matter as long as it has a couple of main things shown on screen. What matters much more is you sticking to a routine and doing it consistently. Secondly, the same way a football player would go to the gym to stay fit and get stronger, a Valorant pro would aim train to keep their raw aim in good form and better it. The aim training slash weightlifting part isn't everything that contributes to their craft, but it will help you reach your true potential. If there's one last thing I'd like everyone watching to take away from this video, it's truly just this analogy. Football players go to the gym to stay fit and get stronger, but they don't rely on their strength to win games. Their technique, whether it be their defensive stats, their ability to dribble, their attacking positioning, or their off the ball IQ in general, will never come from the gym. These are very critical things that take a lot of well spent time playing, analyzing, and being mentored. And of course, these same ideas apply to a Valorant player and aim training. You won't get better movement or fight IQ or positioning or comms or util usage or economy management from aim training. But yes, you will get raw aim, and raw aim is in fact kinda useful. If you like coaching from me or just want to hang out with me in my community, join my Discord. And if you'd like to see me coaching or losing ranked, catch me live at twitch.tv/PRONME_VLR. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments. I read all of them. Other than that, thanks for watching and have a good day.